So,
चार्ज लगा दादा देखियो आगे क्या
I would like to invite everybody to be seated at the auditorium, and we are going to start the session right now. Please be kind enough to be seated at the auditorium since we are running out of time. Yeah. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So we are at the concluding session, concluding and valedictory ceremony. So I would like to just kindly remind you about the nature trail, which will be a compliment from Mobius Foundation. So if there's anybody who is interested and who is willing to participate in this, I think it's a very rare opportunity. Please register for it right now. Morning at 7 to 9. So make sure to grab this opportunity. So with that reminder, I would like to invite Ms. Neha Raghav for the presentation of summary of sessions and adoption of recommendations.
Thanks a lot, Michelle. It is my pleasure to be presenting the recommendations which have come in so far. This is a live document, and it is the document of all the partners who have presented in this conference. And so they're still working on the recommendations. We have put together the recommendations that we have received so far. The inputs are welcome, and I look forward to having your feedback and inputs on the recommendations that we have received so far. I will be reading out the document. As ICSE commemorates 75 years of India's independence, it charted the road to the vision of greener and a more sustainable India in the upcoming 25 years by mainstreaming of sustainability education. Towards the road to population stabilization, the ICSE 2022 also deliberated upon its linkage with sustainability of the planet, role of education and empowerment. And here, all the partners, we state, we the representatives of the community of sustainability education professionals assembled in a hybrid mode at the 4th International Conference on Sustainability Education 2022 on the 9th and 10th of September to join our voices and efforts to collectively advocate for action and outcome-oriented sustainability education in the country. Recognizing with concern the scientific evidence on degrading environment due to rapid urbanization, thereby risking health, livelihoods, food security, water supply, and other ecosystem services. We acknowledge the need for immediate intervention by all stakeholders towards strengthening the education system for building a greener economy. We are mindful of the need for increased attention towards ensuring effective sustainability education in the country. Urgent actions are recommended at all levels of education. Aware that it is our duty as the representatives of the community of sustainability education to bring the agenda to the forefront on all the forums. Taking note of the outcomes and deliberations at the various sessions of ICSE 2022, this recommendation will connect all the threads and strands of plenaries and thematic sessions focusing on the theme of the conference. Our commitment to collaborate and work with all the stakeholders, including people, relevant agencies and communities, will be beneficial in achieving the goals of the conference. On the 4 sub-themes of the conference, which are solutions through education and technology, green jobs and circular economy, biodiversity and ecosystem restoration, capacity building, climate literacy and net zero targets, we would like to make following recommendations to the respective stakeholders that include environment education NGOs, government and government agencies, citizens and communities, educational institutions, youth and e-learning platforms for their kind consideration. A few of the recommendations that we have received so far by our partners, I am reading out, the inputs are welcome. The first recommendation that we received towards solutions through education and technology, institutionalize counseling for green jobs at multiple levels of education, identify and create green jobs within all the industries to ensure they push towards a greener economy. Make teaching and learning about environment real, contextual, and action-oriented with a focus on practicing sustainability and emerging with innovative solutions. Do this through inclusion of nature and environment into every aspect of the ecosystem. I think so this means education ecosystem at all levels. More linkages need to be explored on population, sustainable development and education. Create an ecosystem which emphasizes on interactive and hands-on learning, a system that inculcates out-of-the-box thinking and provides opportunities to pursue enhanced learning in specific areas of individual interest for each child at school level. Identify and bridge gaps in India's science, technology, and innovation ecosystem to provide a competitive edge to young entrepreneurs internationally. Universalization of climate change education. Here are some of the recommendations that we have received. There are more on the way. If any of you have any recommendations, we are very happy to include them in the list for further consideration. So anybody in the audience, if you have any recommendations that you feel is worth including in the conference, you all have attended the sessions, I would be happy to have you share that with us. Any of the dignitaries on the dais, if you have any recommendation, please. I think it's a long press.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thanks. I was wondering whether the recommendations should all be directed to India alone or not. So I think in the beginning we have said India.
Okay, all right, sure.
And
Noted.
I think we need to see that there might be some which are India focused, but many
Sure.
are not.
Sure,
So
noted.
that was one comment. The other one was that at least as far as India is concerned, when you do the recognizing, I think we should do the recognizing of the fact that environmental education is a compulsory subject in India. So there are certain opportunities which exist. And similarly, whether we want to recognize the opportunity of the SDGs and the climate change NAPCCs and things like that. So there are recognizing opportunities for bringing in education. I think the word, for instance, green jobs, and sometimes we talk about jobs and green jobs, but in many cases it's greening existing jobs.
Yeah.
So it's not so much that there is a new animal there, but the existing ones, whether you are doing engineering or landscape designing or urban planning, it's really the greening of those, which is probably as large as new jobs, which might be like solar energy and things. These might be genuinely new jobs, but what is happening? So I think that this was discussed at the meeting. So I think it's clearly.
Sure.
I think that you will have to put up either your email ID or something
Sure.
and give people maybe 8 or 10 days
To come back.
to come back, because at the detail level there might be many comments which we
Sure.
might have to give.
Sure. Thank you. Those were some really valid inputs, which we will be taking into consideration. Anybody from the audience, or if anybody else from the dais would like to add? Yes, please.
Thank you. I'd like to come back to one of the points that I raised yesterday, and that's the really pressing importance of intergenerational conversations, so that some recommendation that reflects the way in which we can include student voice and the voice of the rising generations in the formulation of policy and action. So intergenerational conversations.
Thank you so much, Mr. McDonald. I was specifically inspired by your talk yesterday, and I truly believe that intergenerational conversations are very, very relevant and important. Thank you so much for that input. Yes, please.
Sorry, Richard, I'm stealing one of yours too, but I heard so many fantastic examples these days about what is achieved. And it was mentioned the power of example. And I think we should commit that if anybody has examples, we should share them and feel obligated also to look at them and share the best practices we are seeing these days.
Thank you so much. We've made a note of it. I think so that will be wonderful to share the best practices with all the stakeholders. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah, and much on the same lines as Patrick has mentioned, I would like to say that we should also include the outcome measures for all of the recommendations that we are making. How are we going to track it as to what impact it is going to have, and for that the metrics for measuring the outcome from all of these.
I think so. These are the recommendations for the implementation agencies. We can actually recommend that they come up with various measures to track the progress of this implementation. But as of now, this is a recommendation document. We can include that as a point. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, there's one here.
I just wanted to say that, the nitty-gritties of the organizing the conference, and I don't know, like when we were discussing in the CEs, just the breakout session that we had, looking at using the recycled paper for printing the conference thing, and whether we can also look into, when we talked about the survey, like what is the environmental impact of conducting such conferences. I know that's already online, but something like, so that it really sinks into the participants as well. How many came by their own car, how many came by their, the public transport. So, getting it to the real walking the talk thing as well.
Sure, noted, ma'am. Thank you so much. Is there anybody else who would like to share anything from the sessions, any takeaways that you'd like to include as a recommendation in the document? I think so this is a great opportunity. even though we'll be circulating the documents for your inputs. But I'll be glad to hear from some of you. Yes, there's a recommendation here. Yeah. Can you please come? Yeah.
मैं कल से सस्टेनेबल एजुकेशन का हिंदी ढूंढ रहा था। मुझे एक बात समझ में आई कि ये जो सस्टेनेबल एजुकेशन है, ये एक तरह से एक वैसी शिक्षा हम बनाना चाहते हैं जिसमें हमारी नेचर और हमारी ह्यूमैनिटी इक्वल ग्रो कर सकें, दोनों साथ साथ चल सकें, नेचर भी और ह्यूमन काइंड भी। तो फिर मैंने सोचा कि यार इसका हिंदी में कैसे बोलूँ इस सस्टेनेबल एजुकेशन को। फिर गूगल पर हमारे मित्र देख रहे हैं, प्रदीप जी क्या बता रहे हैं पता नहीं, लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि यदि हम इसको विद्या भी कहें तो भी शायद काम चल सकता है। देखो चल सकता है कि नहीं, क्योंकि विद्या का अर्थ होता है इंडिजिनस नॉलेज सिस्टम में जब हम नेचर को अपने जैसा मानकर बचाने की कोशिश करते हैं, वो उसी में पॉसिबल है। इसलिए मुझे एक छोटा सा सुझाव देना है, ये सही वक्त है, ये सही मंच है। हम लोगों को थोड़ा ये देखने की ज़रूरत है कि ये जो हमारे एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं जिनके साथ हम काम कर रहे हैं, हमारा मोबिस काम कर रहा है, उनके मन में ये नज़रिया शिक्षण के साथ साथ उनका जो जीवन है, जो बच्चों का लाइफ स्टाइल है, उस लाइफ स्टाइल में कैसे नेचर का सम्मान शामिल होने लगे, उनके व्यवहार में, उनको उनका जो बिहेवियर है उसमें वो कैसे आ जाए। यदि वो आ जाएगा तो फिर हमें एजुकेशन की बहुत सारी टेक्नोलॉजी, मेथोडोलॉजी, पैडागोजी, इन सब में जाने की ज़्यादा ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी। उसको हम कैसे ले आए, बस मुझे इतना ही कहना है।
I want to raise my concern here. We conducted a very important session on ocean literacy, which we are trying to introduce, and recommendation towards understanding and creating awareness towards ocean conservation, which Rajendra Ji talks about Jal. So it originates from ocean, and we feel that it's really important that a platform like this, when we talk about recommendations, from here we also start a dialogue for the first time in India, where we are not only talking about environmental education as we have been talking about all these years, because when we reached out to schools and when we go to the schools, they often say that everyone comes to us with this program, with that program. How do we integrate? It's too much on us. So what, through our oceans program, what we did is we made it interdisciplinary. So it's there in their literature, it's there in their science, it's there in their mathematics, and that way I feel that when we are trying to introduce environmental education or ocean literacy, it's a very important point which we must consider, that there is a huge load on teachers, even from our end. Like when we go to them and tell them that we want to involve your children. Me as in Jane Goodall Institute, Aditya as in climate reality, CE, or we all want to achieve the same goal, that they become conscious citizen of this planet. But how do we do this? How do we make this less challenging for the educators? And again, we did this first of the kind, introducing ocean literacy in the country, and we would expect from the organizers that ocean literacy also goes into the recommendation from the foundation, Mobius Foundation. Thank you.
Noted, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Good evening to all.
Yeah. All right. I think so. I'll take the last one, And yeah, no more? Okay, I'm really sorry. I'll reach out to you and I'll note it down, yeah? All right, thank you so much. And this was not the last opportunity. We will send out an email requesting for your inputs. So thank you so much for contributing this time. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm done. Okay, sorry, over to Michelle.
Yeah, thank you, Neha. So, moving back, for the concluding statements, I would like to invite Mr. Pradeep Burman, Chairman of Mobius Foundation, to address the gathering.
Thank you, Michelle. I think I'm always aware of the time, so I get a little jumpy every now and then. So we're coming to the end of the conference, and it has been for me a very humbling experience and also a very learning experience. Because of the number of topics which have been discussed, it's not possible for any single person to keep up with all the topics that have been discussed. But the Mobius Foundation will take into account everything that is required and that everything that we could do to sustain our livelihoods and to make it a more livable generation, future generations to live after us, so that they don't curse their fathers and their grandfathers that you left us a rotten planet and you left it worse than you found it. Now, at the end of this conference, we are going to also publish a booklet which will summarize all the sessions and also come out with some recommendations. So I would like to then thank all who have participated and chaired various sessions, the CRP, the FEE, the UNEP, the Jane Goodall Institute, the WWF, the TERE, the CEE, there's Pushpa Gujral Science City, there's Singapore ESG Research Foundation, and there is also from Abu Dhabi EAD. That is SEED, the Indira Gandhi Open University, there's NIOS, which is Open Schools, and then there is CIT Assam, which chaired a session on circular economy. There's Terry and there's Greha along with Terry that gave us separate information and recommendations for greener buildings. I would also like to mention and thank especially the support of Dr. Booj and the entire team of the Mobius Foundation for making the conference run smoothly and successfully. I would also like to thank Mr. Praveen Garg, for ex-Secretary, the Government of India, for the ESG as well as the various sessions which he chaired. And especially to Kartik Bhai for leading the TAC team who put the entire thing together as to how it is to run. What is it that we should look at? What is it that we can focus? What are the topics that we should name? So I would like to really thank him for his assistance in the making of this entire conference. He was heading what is called the Technical Advisory Committee on how to go about this conference. The Mobius Foundation itself will take up all the innovative ideas and support all of them in times to come. We'll bring out the booklet summarizing the details of the deliberation in the conference, and for all the participants, we will mail one to them either electronically or physically. So thank you all for attending, and I hope you will hear more from some of the other people on the dais. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to invite Mr. Karthikeya Sarabhai, founder and director of CEE India, to address the gathering.
Thank you very much, and I think it was really good to see the spirit with which so many discussions were going on simultaneously. It was difficult for all of us to decide which one we want to go to, and I'm looking forward to seeing these on the net once one goes back. I would like to specifically thank Shri Pradeep Burmanji for really initiating this whole thing and putting the trust on the Technical Advisory Committee to plan this, and therefore all the members of the Technical Advisory Committee, we've met several times to fine-tune and see that this meets with his expectations of what we want. We wanted to also bring together the concerns on not only consumption and environmental damage, but also population, which I think we managed to do. And I think Neha's reading of the recommendation also starts with that. I do feel that we are at a very critical stage just now, because we've just come out of the COVID period. And it's not just come out, but the point was that till COVID, I think there was an assumption that education happens in one way only. And there was a certain reluctance to change. But globally, what COVID did was that it said, hey, your assumption doesn't necessarily always hold true. And suppose for 2 years a child can't go to school, what will you do? And there was a number of innovative ways which used, of course, mechanism. In many cases, we didn't succeed to reach out to some of the people who we should have reached out to. But the point was, it shook everyone. It shook the system. In the business world, many things where we felt can only be done through person-to-person meetings have changed, and changed forever. There are some businesses which now have said that like work from home is probably part of the way of life. Maybe come to the office. So things have changed. But the same thing is going to happen in education. That our access to some of the best education in the world, wherever we are, through just holding your mobile instrument, is probably going to be available in your language that you want. So I think that has churned up, both brought up possibilities and things. So do we just go back to what existed earlier, or do we really start changing? The climate change, which has been with us for several years, the recognition of climate change, has finally reached a stage where even the person who is the most strong skeptic on that it's very difficult to remain that. I think you are seeing things not only, as I said, in the southern hemisphere, but in the countries of the south, as you see it in the countries of the north. So the urgency has increased. Opportunities have increased, and this is going to change the education system. I think many of the ideas discussed in the conference are a major step in that direction. And as Pradeepji has said, we are not only here to discuss theory, but we would like to see this going into policy, into action, into examples, into models. And so with that, I think we look forward to continuous networking with all of you, many other opportunities. And finally, Rambuj and the actual team at Mobius needs really a big clap for all that they've done for this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sarabhai. Now I would like to invite Mr. Patrick Van Veen, who is a senior advisor to IGI Global, and he's a behavioral biologist who also works as a trainer, keynote speaker, and researcher for his company, Ape Management, and is also a former global board chair of IGI Global. Sir, stage is all yours.
Thank you. Dear dignitaries, dear chairman, and Mr. Dr. Rambush, thank you for organizing this conference, bringing all these people together. I want really to thank the Mobius Foundation to organize these two inspiring days. And the only thing that I can give back is tell a small story, which is very much connected to what I learned these days. I work with chimpanzees, and I was 10 years ago in Africa in a sanctuaries with chimpanzees in Agamba Island. I worked a few days with these chimpanzees, and on day 4, the head keeper said to me, "Patrick, are you willing to go outside tomorrow with the young chimpanzees for a walk?" And I can tell you, for a chimpanzee researcher, it's a dream to walk with a young chimpanzee on your back into the forest. So I arrived in the morning where the head keeper was, the young chimpanzees were, and the head keeper started to laugh, and he said, "Patrick, this is not going to work. Glasses and chimpanzees is not a very good combination." So I had to leave my glasses behind, but I can tell you, when I put my glasses off, I won't recognize anybody on the first row anymore. So the keepers started to introduce the chimpanzees to me, but you have to imagine they were on 5-6 meters distance, so I didn't recognize them. They were just black spots in the green. And he started to introduce Billy, the biggest woman in the group, and he said, "Probably she is going to climb on your shoulders." And then he came to Ikuru, and he said, "Patrick, stay away from Ikuru, because she hates men. If mans approach her, she will bite, she will hit you. Don't get near to her." And I thought, oh gosh, I'm in the middle of Victoria Lake, 2 hours from the mainland, a hospital. I don't want to be bit here by a chimpanzee. But I decided I'd move on. So we went into the forest. The chimps climbed in the trees. We sat there, we're laying there a little bit, waiting for the chimpanzees coming back. And after an hour, they came back, and I felt a chimpanzee grooming my hair. And I started to groom my leg. And after 10 minutes, the head keeper said, "Patrick, I have to warn you, this is Ikuru. It's the first time in her life she is approaching a man and touching a man." And of course, my colleagues laughed and said, "That's your female touch." But we had to discuss that in the evening. And the only conclusion we had is that I didn't have my glasses on. Because if I would have had my glasses on, I would have been biased. And the lesson I learned was the most important lesson. If we are biased, nothing is going to change. If we are biased, that students are not interested in sustainability, they won't be interested in sustainability. If we think that people are not willing to change, there won't be any behavioral change. So our own biases are sometimes the biggest problem in making the change. And I learned a lot these days, and one of the things I learned from Rachel was mindset was on his list. I won't repeat all the 5 because some I forgot, but mindset was a very important one. And if we have the right mindset, we can make a change. I heard a lot of stories of hope, and I think hope is crucial to make a change. What I learned from Mr. Singh, I told him yesterday, the waterman you are called, I didn't understand any word of his presentation. However, I understood his international language of emotion and passion. And that was much more important to me probably than understand the wording. Thank you for that. And I think when we bring these three things together, mindset, hope, and passion, we are going to make a change. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Patrick. Now I would like to invite Professor Prithvi Yadav, who is from Symbiosis University, who has done a PhD in statistics, optimal designs and business intelligence. He has 35 years of experience in academics, research and development and administration. Professor Prithvi, the stage is all yours.
Thank you. It's my honor and privilege to be amongst you all. We are management professional attending first time the sustainability education conference. And today, I would like to thank the Mobius Foundation for inviting me to be part of this conference and making me much more learning about this sustainability and sustainability education. I recall when we were in the management campuses 25 years back, the environment of the management campus used to be the business oriented. And that time we introduced the concept of society, business and management. That was the long back 25 years back. And today we can see the way the management campuses, the university campuses have gone forward and become the center and become the concerns for the society. That is the learning we have got it today, and this is the feedback, this is the outcome we are carrying with me and going to the university back, making the university as a sustainability education and making them more responsible. As we all discuss and be aware that part of the academic curricula, we have the environmental course, we have the society concerns courses in the universities. But what we lack today is the practice, awareness, and day-to-day behavior of everybody in the campuses. That's the reality today, particularly the large campuses where the students more than 15,000, 20,000 exist, and that too the residential campuses. So thanks to the Mobius Foundation for inviting me to this particular conference, making me aware, and now I can recall Dr. Singh Saab is here, Rajendra Singh ji. We had invited him 20 years back at IIM campus. We learned a lot about him and we made our campus that time students sensitive about how to become the socially sensitive managers. So thanks to once more the Mobius Foundation for inviting me, making me more aware about this environment friendly, socially friendly and sustainability, okay, the friendly aware environment, and certainly once I will go back to my campus, I will be more aware. I will make our students more sensitive, and certainly we will take forward the learnings, the experience from this particular conference to our campus. And I'm sure that next year, once I will again come back to the same conference, we would be more mature, we would be more the learned, and we would be more having the success case study. So thanks for inviting me here, and thanks the foundation for making all of us prepared to be a great experience for sustainability. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Professor Prithvi. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I have the paper presentation results with me. So I invite Mr. Pradeep Burman, to present the prizes for the winners. So the third prize goes to Vishal Shivastava. Okay, Vishal has been online, so let's move on to the second prize. The second prize goes to Dr. Asta Saxena. Please welcome her with a big round of applause. Congratulations, Dr. Asta. And now the first prize goes to Ivona Jain. Congratulations, Ms. Ivona Jain. Thank you very much, Mr. Burman. Now I would like to invite Mr. Karthikeya Sarabhai to present the prizes for the poster presentation. So the second prize goes to Neha and Lovish Raheja. Please welcome them with a big round of applause. Congratulations. And now the first prize goes to Poonam Singh and Himangi Halder. Yeah, please come to receive your prize. Congratulations. With that, I would like to invite Dr. Ram Boj, the CEO of Mobius Foundation, for the vote of thanks. So the stage is all yours.
Thank you very much, Michelle. I think this is the final job that I have to perform here. And with the permission of Mr. Pradeep Burman, I would like to take
rest of the time, because lot of, as one of the speakers, I think it was Patrick, who said the whatever we are going to achieve is through love, passion, and I would say the engagement, the connections that we all have made here. The theme of this conference, I think you resonated very well. Building connections and partnerships, that holds the key. So thank you very much for suggesting this, and really grateful. All of us must give a very big hand to Mr. Pradeep Burman for his great vision and leadership. And I think you all must have impressed by his dedication and devotion. He was throughout. I think he didn't miss any moment. And he attended even the parallel sessions as far as he could, and also interacted with everyone. So I think he is really moving force and a driver of this whole ICSE movement that we started in 2019. So thank you very much, Mr. Burman. Mr. Kartikeya Sarabhai, we all know him. So down to earth. And from the very beginning, we started this ICSE movement, the program. He was the one to support this movement, and not only he gives plenty of time in ideating, in looking at the sessions, giving ideas, being the chair of technical advisory committee. Really, I think we all must give him a big hand to Kartik Bhai. We are really grateful. So, and we hope that he is the one who has built up this, all the partnerships, connections, not only in India, many generations of now, I think third or fourth generation of environment educators, and all over the world is recognized. So that was really this beauty of this whole ICSE process. What I thought, our colleagues, I think Mr. Praveen Garg is there. He has recently joined, but he has imbibed everything very quickly. And he also guided two very important sessions. One was ESG. It's a new concept, new idea. And I think very much needed. If you want to promote sustainability, take it to a next level, involving the professionals, particularly management and the finance professionals. ESG is so crucial. So, and there was another session on eco-restoration. That's my favorite, biodiversity and eco-restoration. So thank you so much, Mr. Praveen, and all my colleagues, particularly, you all know many of the names. If I forget anyone, of course, you can see these green shirts. Kavya, everybody, she was, in fact, I have, rather put her under tremendous pressure to the point where I thought she might just collapse. But she is hard nut. And thank you, Kavya, for all the support. So another colleague, Shravan Kumar, he joined recently from Ministry of Environment Forest. He was consultant there. His support was very silent, behind the curtain, but very substantial. And thank you, Shravan. You must have seen very energetic performance yesterday evening, cultural. Poonam
Singh Parihar. She is there. That one contribution, I think particularly me, I was so thrilled and so much energized by those performances. Thank you, Poonam, for everything that your support. And we have another wonderful colleague, Nidhi Singh. She is, whatever you are seeing on Facebook, Twitter, social media, Facebook, I am not very accustomed to all these, but of course, for Mobius Foundation, she is the pillar for disseminating information at wider level. She very efficiently handled the media, brought many of the press people, media people here, and also I think her job is not going to finish because this is going to begin to disseminate whatever we are doing here. So thank you very much, Nidhi. I think I may forget many names, but nutshell, finance team, our HR team, our support staff, everyone, they have worked day and night. And I think it's not very big team, it's a very small team, very, very small, minute, I would say, team, minuscule, but everybody has worked. I am forgetting some name. Oh yes, how can I forget them? Interns, please stand up where you are. They are the real gem. They have certainly they are not here, they disappear. Actually, whomsoever I could see. Okay, yeah, she is there. So there are three of them, four rather, I would say. And they joined us in the month of May. And they had examinations, they have many tasks, of the academic tasks, but that is the true dedication and how these youngsters, they imbibe in such a short time the essence of sustainability, because this topic is so interesting and so I think, as you said, passionate. It's a passion. You can learn through passion only. Not so they have been through the process and they gel so well. They were everywhere. You must have seen them. Many volunteers, interns. They are the backbone of this whole exercise. Among the partner, of course, you all must have interacted with. I might forget many, but to single out the contribution, I would say it's Mr. Aditya Pundir, the Climate Foundation of India, and his team was right from the 2019. In fact, the first call was to him, and very efficiently this Youth for Earth function that you saw and the Youth Conclave, along with his team, he has played an immense role. Aditya, can you please just, where are you? Just stand up. The other very prominent role was played by Dr. Pramod Kumar Sharma of Foundation for Environment Education, that Copenhagen based. He has to leave because he was on holidays, and normally those who are from Europe, they understand the meaning of holidays, that they will not work. Holidays, they just keep everything aside during holidays, but he not only participated first day, but helped us curate the whole program, particularly Youth Conclave. And there, this young reporters for environment, they must have met many of you. They have been everywhere. So I think there are too many, almost some 30 partners. If I forget anyone, I think I cannot count each and everyone. But how can I miss our very Rajbhai, our waterman, Rajendra Singh ji? He is also one passionate person, and Vidya or Shiksha. Yes, I will say. She is reminding me about some names which I am forgetting. So, Vidya and Shiksha. In fact, I told that we did a work and I will present to you. It's a Hindi version, long back in 2005 we published. I was one of the authors with Professor Ramakrishnan about the dialogue between traditional knowledge and formal knowledge system. These two knowledge systems, that dialogue is still continuing and there is no clarity but I think the education system which COVID, if you just see India's national report, there have been deterioration in quality of education, not only in India, worldwide. And because of disruption, I think this Shiksha and Vidya, that whole the mix of that knowledge is the answer. And I think we had many answers in this room that we need to document, disseminate, and reach out to the policy makers, and particularly because we know this national curriculum framework is being developed, and one of the members of the NCF was briefly with us. So we will have more interaction to making this sustainability education meaningful. I think without naming each and every one, of course, you must have seen every arrangement here, foolproof Alp cart, the event management agency. They are with us since 2019, and this is fourth version. And we again, of course, we went through a process which is required by administration, all those, but still we continued with them, and they have done their job perfectly. Every arrangement that you see here is theirs, and whenever you call them, they were there. And this whole scope team, it was also their, I think, untiring effort. They made this as special. Every staff official was with us, and I would again give credit to our colleague, Mr. Praveen Garg, because of his influence with some of the high-ups, everything was very smooth. So I'm not going to go into more details, but I got a list to honor some of those who are, and the first call of honor, I think we all have to give a big hand to Michelle Dilara. So Michelle, come on the stage. And Michelle has been, in fact, she is a sustainability crusader. I met her in 2018 in South Asia Youth Forum. And I think after that, she also received a Youth Icon Award in New Delhi. And we got to connect then that she is the one who can motivate lot of youth. And she, after great trouble, she came here because her flight got cancelled. She came via Bombay and she is here throughout. So her passion, dedication, devotion. So may I request Mr. Pradeep Burman to give a memento to Michelle. So congratulations, Michelle.
What the youth for Earth has come, maybe they can stand up in the recognized. Youth for Earth, they were not here before. The
Are
reporters,
there
young
young reporters, are they here? Please come over the stage. You have a special surprise by Mr. Pradeep Burman, Chairman, Mobius Founder. Please come. Come over the stage. Actually, Young Reporters of Environment is a curation of Karthik Bhai's and promotes the FENC joint initiative. And Karthik Bhai's entire team has been training them and thank you, the Young Reporters of Environment YREs, for your tremendous job. You must have got their newsletter. They produced within I think after dinner, they just put together some of these things and produced a very nice newsletter, which is online, and also some few copies were available at the welcome desk. So tomorrow also it will be today's proceedings will be produced. So thank you very much all the IURE members. Can I invite Mr. Aditya Pundir come over the stage? There is a memento which Mr. Pradeep Burman, may I request you to present the memento to Mr. Aditya Burman? Sorry, I am so sorry. A lot of things. Aditya Pundir, my very good friend. Mr. Burman, your task is not yet over. We have a long list. You have to be, you have to honor many. So, can I invite Miss Vinita Apte? Is she there? Okay. I can see Shweta Khare Nayak. Shweta, come over the stage. Is Professor G.D. Sharma there? No. Ivona Jin, please. Ivona, give her a big hand. Ivona, I think you all know her by this. She is an ocean lover and my very old friend, long-standing friend, World Ocean Network. We together created a World Ocean Passport. Karthik Bhai knows that while I was that passport was really hit. Ivona, I think you must revive that whole idea of World Ocean Passport. I was coordinating that whole project. And you carry the passport, go to any part of any ocean facility, aquarium, science centers. your entry is free and you get stamped. Gayatri is there? No. Sam Barrett? Kinle Dorji, our Bhutanese friend, we talked about gross national happiness, and Bhutan is leading the way. Karina is there? Pranab Patar, they have given me. Vilas Khandekar, he is the man who is spearheading this whole. I saw him, but I think he just left. Suprabha Patnaik, Professor Patnaik. Yes. Professor Suprabha Patnaik was with Northeastern University where I was there. But by the time she joined, I left. Then she joined, caught me in UNESCO. She's a professor at Indian Institute of Forest Management, and now leading some think tank in Madhya Pradesh, Atal Bihari Vajpayee Institute of Governance or something. So congratulations, Suprabha, and thank you for all the support. We had two from the UAE, the Abu Dhabi, Aisha and Arwa. Two delegates, very active. I attended their session. It was very interesting. They invited all of us to COP and World Environment Education. They are not here. But Professor Jayashankar, Kerala Digital University. Oh. Professor Jayashankar has a very unique course in, it was triple IT earlier, now it's a digital university on ecological informatics. So his contribution is immense in this area. Professor Bimal Katiyar of IIT Guwahati. Soumya Sil. Soumya is also not there. Dr. Nilima Jerath. Dr. Avakash Kumar from IIT Mumbai, Bombay. So thank you all. You may kindly take the seat. I think they have prepared a hurried list. If I forgot or my colleagues forgot someone, big apologies. I think, as Karthik Bhai rightly said, we will take 8 to 10 days to firm up all those recommendations that has come. There was a Google form, and we must thank Neha and WW team to help us in framing the recommendations, designing that framework, and also it's easy to gather all the recommendations. So you all are, because it's a living document, and it will be closed only once after a week. Within that week, you please send us all those recommendations. And The other thing is that I would like to say here is it's a tremendous experience because challenge, particularly, of course, all the challenges discussed. But when we discussed first time about how to go ahead with the fourth version, one idea came that let us go online, the virtual, because last year virtually we did most of these things, these parallel sessions, plenaries, everything was in a virtual mode, very good platform that was, but that was easy. But this time, making both, we had a professor from MIT for this plenary. He could not join because of the glitches and it's this time zone constraints. So there were several people who could not join us. So this, I found this huge technology challenge, the virtual mode and this physical, combining both. So sometimes when you combine all these things, there becomes problem. At the very end, I would once again like to thank each one of you with on behalf of Mobius Foundation, Mr. Pradeep Burman, to each one of, particularly again, Mr. Kartikeya Sarabhai, who led this whole initiative from the very beginning, and to all my these dignitaries who are on the dais, particularly from this JGI. He came all the way from, he had a lot of problems in getting the visa and all those. Thank you so much, Professor Prithvi Yadav. He was with IIM Indore, I think you were, and now with the Symbiosis University. Thank you so much. I think we would be very happy to collaborate with you to make your science campus sustainable campus and introduce a sustainability course, because business institutions, they must lead the way, and we will be very happy to collaborate along with many other. This IIT Guwahati we already had with CIT an MOU, and many other these colleagues who are present here from different institutions. Everyone, this is the true collaboration, true partnership, and I think this is what we wanted to achieve through this conference, building connections and partnerships. I hope this connection will go a long way, survive till the next version of the 5th version of ICSE next year, hopefully. And with new challenges, new ideas, new topics. So thank you everyone, thank you so much. I would request everyone to stay, because this is the real conference will begin now, the networking and making connections. Stay, there's a dinner arranged, I think very good dinner with the courtesy of Mr. Pradeep Burman. And another thing that I would like to announce here, that tomorrow's nature trail is very interesting. I think we have produced a slideshow for that. It was 2 minutes, I don't know what happened, but it's really very interesting. If anybody is interested, thankful to Mr. Pradeep Burman, he made it complimentary to everyone. So forget about now the fees and join it. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock, and the second batch will go in the evening 5 o'clock, because these are the times when you can really enjoy. And there's a very good naturalist from WWF India, they are leading it, and you will really relish it. I will also be there, because I thought it's a good opportunity to be with you all again in the nature. So thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ramboj. And with those two important announcements, now we have come to the end of the session. So I strongly believe that we had two fruitful conferences with so many things so many information together, and so many people who participated from all around India and even overseas. So thank you so much for everybody who participated, and thank you so much our dignitaries, and thank you so much Mr. Pradeep Burman, Dr. Ramboj, and Mr. Patrick, Professor Prithvi, and Mr. Sarabhai. Thank you so much. So it's time to end the session now. And as Mr. Ramboj mentioned, there will be a dinner at 7 o'clock. So please do stay for the dinner. And I think the nature trail is a good opportunity. So try to join the nature trail tomorrow. So once again, thank you so much for participating for the conference. Good night and have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr.